Zoom on Right Body for you with amazing Sangeeta Coach Isha. Oh God, I don't have a mic here, but I think I'm loud enough. So let's take, I think all of us know Isha and Sangeeta. I don't really need to introduce them. So I'll hand it over straight away to both of you. And if you can talk a little bit about yourself and, what this class is all about and what magic is out to be created day after tomorrow.
I'm going to give the floor to Isha first.
Okay. Hi, guys. Hi, everyone. I'm Isha Baba, and I'm an Access Consciousness Certified Facilitator and a Right Body for You facilitator. Can I just request you all to please mute yourselves? And whenever you want to ask a question, just unmute yourself, okay? And I got introduced to Access, I think about 5 years ago, by the wonderful and the beautiful duo Kiran Singh and Ratandeep Singh. And ever since, there's been no looking back. I remember sitting with mom and just mom Channa Baba, who's also another certified facilitator. And I remember sitting with her and talking to her. And I was just like, mom, I'm so grateful to Access. Apart from everything else, the one thing that it's taught me and I've learned from it is that we don't have to settle ever. Like, there is no settling required. And that for me is such an empowering thing. And I am so grateful to all of you who choose what you choose every moment of your life. Thank you for being willing to use the tools and actually be the space of knowing that everything is possible. And when I got introduced to Access, I did not have a connection with my body. Everyone who knows me, right, Sangi?
I think it's the same story for me as well, right? That connection with the body is something that we're not taught to have a lot. In fact, as we grow older, when we are very little, we have that connection and we are like so clued in. We know that our body wants to move all the time. And you see little kids, they're like jumping and shouting and screaming and rolling and they don't have a point of view. And as we grow, we are told how to be with our body. And with every instruction, we sort of cut ourselves off. Sit straight, join your legs, don't laugh too loudly, don't jump too much, don't roll, don't dance. With all of that, we keep disconnecting ourselves from what our body is actually asking, desiring. Eat this, don't eat this. If you're a girl, then be a certain size. And if you're a boy, then have a certain amount of muscles. And so all of that, like every do and don't with our body, I think disconnects us from our body. And I think same story, Isha, like by the time I found Access, so totally disconnected from our bodies. So grateful for the tools of Right Body for You, because it just like brings you in communion with your body. And that's just step one. And then once you are connected to something, once you become friends with your body, there's nothing you can't change, right?
Absolutely. That was so beautiful. Especially like when we're told to treat, I was having a really interesting conversation yesterday with a few people and they were asking me how we treat our body as a sacred temple. And for so many years, we've been told to treat our body as a sacred temple and we must just treat it sacredly, which is again a really interesting point of view. I've never done that, But I think after being introduced to Access, and especially looking at the Right Body for You book, reading it, I just got a sense of how much, if we're willing to create with our body rather than fighting against it, what gets created is sheer ease and possibilities.
Absolutely. I think it's also, I don't think anyone, I don't know how many of us have been brought up being told that your body is your best friend. It doesn't leave you ever till you decide to check out of it, till you say, okay, I'm right, I'm going to die now, and I pop it. Your body doesn't leave you no matter how you treat it. You wake up with this, at least I've done that for years, when I wake up and I just throw these, like streams of judgment at my body. This is not right, that is not right. There's extra inches here, there's less inches here. And that's how we go through our life. And, any little thing can bring you to that space of judgment. And if I remember so clearly my first class with Donielle, Right Body for You 2014 in Bombay. She said if your body was your pet, it would have left long time ago. It would have ran away from you, right? And the things that we say to our body, would you ever say that to your closest friend? Would you ever say that to your best friend? Right? But we say it to our bodies all the freaking time. So, I mean, this class really is not so much, I know it's called body and weight, which is the topic that we'll be handling, but really it's not just the weight as in kilos on your body. It is really the weight of the judgments that you put on your body all the time. We're going to talk about that, and that does not just create weight in our body, it also creates a lot of intensities and densities, which can show up as so many different things. Can show up as pain, dis-ease, disease, illnesses, and also dis-ease in our life could be because of the projections and expectations and judgments we are throwing at our body. It's really interconnected because your body is your earth. You're here on this planet because you have a body. You, the being, don't require a body. You could be flying off in space. But if you've chosen a body, you've chosen this earthly experience, then I think it's high time that you sort of got into some sort of a friendship with this beautiful choice, beautiful creation, and make it work for you instead of against. What do you say, Isha?
That is absolutely beautiful. Yeah, like Dane says about embodiment. Embodiment is creating your life from the with the contribution of your body. A lot of us have this idea that we have to live our life on our own and we must do everything on our own, and but no, that's not true. Like Sangeeta said, your body is your best friend. It's here to contribute to your world. It's here to add everything you ask for in your world and to your world. Your body will give you everything you ask for on a silver platter.
Yeah.
So my question is, what are you asking for? Are you asking for ease and happiness and joy and possibilities, or are you asking for weight, density,
Intensity.
intensity? Every time you cross someone, you get a thought in your head and you pick up, oh my God, I'm looking at XYZ. But you never go to actually asking, who does this even belong to?
Right.
Where you pick up the point of view of the next person. So what if your body is actually like an information satellite, giving you every single information of every moment you're walking with your body? Instead of us looking at our body as a liability of pains, aches, intensities, what if you could look at your body as the information center that's giving you all kinds of information of everything going on around you?
Wow, that is some space that just got created with that question. Thank you so much, Isha. That was awesome. So I think we should open the floor to like questions, because obviously you and I together will just give the whole class away on this. In half an hour we'd be done, right? Because considering how excited we are and how much we want to just share. And so maybe we should just like get.
Also, can I add one little quick thing here too?
Yeah.
Your body really doesn't have any points of views. The being picks up on the points of views when you're choosing to be finite, when you're choosing to be anything other than infinite. Your being is the one with all the points of views of what our body must look like, what it must show up as, what the weight should look like on the weighing scale. But your being is so conscious that it does not have any point of view. So it will gift you what you ask for without any points of views, and it will receive without any points of views.
I remember in the body class, this being said so beautifully. Donielle said that your body does not have any point of view. It only has preferences. It prefers certain things and doesn't prefer certain things, but it judges nothing. And it's like that little puppy that's willing to give you anything you ask for. And so rightfully, I will repeat the question Isha asked. What are you asking of and from your body really? Like every time you project a judgment at it, you're asking for more of that judgment to show up on your body. And so this class is about taking you to start having a different conversation with your body.
Truly.
So great. Thanks, Sangeeta and Isha. It was awesome. So the floor is indeed open for everybody to ask questions. You can jot it down, or
Unmute
just
yourself.
raise your hand. Yeah. So in the meanwhile, while we have people, just a question from my side. You did talk about judgment. This class is not just about body and weight, but it's about how do we pick up all these judgments and all. What would you like to say about the dis-ease or the pain that we have in our body? How can we work on that, and how do we create that?
Isha, do you want to take that?
Sure. So I love the fact, Sunita, that you didn't call it a disease and you called it a dis-ease. So diseases are actually not diseases. It's just a space of your unwillingness to have some kind of ease with a certain point of view. So everything that shows up in your body shows up because of a certain point of view you have. So if there's a disease that is showing up, if there's an intensity that is showing up, you might want to ask yourself the question, so what is the point of view that I'm resisting so much, or what am I unwilling to receive that is creating this intensity in my body? There's nothing that is pain. Pain is just a definition given to an intensity that is showing up in your body. It's just an awareness that you're unwilling to receive. So a question that I love asking is, what am I fighting for or fighting against that if I wouldn't would change all of this? It's because we're fighting so much for or fighting against a certain point of view that we're not willing to receive the awareness that is showing up, or that we have a certain kind of point of view attached to another point of view of ours that doesn't allow us to receive any and all awarenesses that we're receiving. And another very interesting thing about intensity is when you're asking for something to change and it gets more intense, things are changing. That there in itself is your proof of how things are changing and how much they're changing. So keep going. The more intense it becomes, just acknowledge the fact that you're changing stuff. Sangi, would you like to add?
I think you summed it up really, really well. Pain, intensity, dis-ease is just your body communicating to you. We make it into a solidity, as in a pain to deal with, or an intensity to release, or a dis-ease to then fix when we own it, when we make it ours. But actually it is just information that your body is giving you. And it could be information about what's going on within it, but also what's going on without, in the sense with a lot of people around, or with the earth, or with so many other things that are occurring. Because you're, like Isha said, your body is an information center. So it's constantly relaying information to you, through feelings. And how would it do that, right? Your body doesn't speak. It doesn't have a separate mouth. So you don't communicate with your body the way we communicate with each other. So it will communicate with you through sensation and through feelings. And then when we misidentify and misapply it as an intensity or a pain, and we own it, or we say my thing is hurting, or my heart is hurting, or I'm like so depressed. When we name it, label it, and we own it, is when we actually solidify that information into something that it isn't. And then we spend a lot of time, effort, and energy trying to undo it according to this reality, and most of it doesn't work because that's not what it really is. Okay, so
I have another question from the audience, which says, what is water retention in the body?
Should I take that, Isha?
Yeah, go ahead.
So any kind of retention, anything that you cannot seem to release in your body, firstly, anything that shows up is really an information. So the first thing I would ask is, what am I aware of here? And what is my body trying to tell me? Retention of any kind is usually the unwillingness to let go of something. Usually your body is asking you to let go of something. Or sometimes it is also when it requires something to be added, which you're not giving it. So it could be either or, and you'll only know when you ask a question. Okay? And sometimes when you're asking for, the interesting thing is, our body is made of the exact components as the earth. And if I may say something about the earth, is that it's never constant, it's constantly changing. right? You have seasons, you have natural disasters, you have, the platonic plates moving, you have so many things going on in the earth. It's like creating at some point in its belly, it's creating all this gold and natural gases and oils. And then again, at some point, it's a volcano erupting or a forest fire burning. It's constantly changing. Your body is also constantly changing. Sometimes something that is changing can show up as something that you don't desire because, and why would you not desire it? Because someone has told you that's not okay. But if you didn't make it wrong, it can change very quickly and it can turn out to be far greater than you expect or can imagine or expect it to. The idea of the right body for you series or the right body for you classes, they're so, isn't it true, Isha, that it's never possible to handle just one topic? Like we talk about weight and all these questions around pain and disease is going to show up. All these questions around the communication with the body will show up. The conversation around earth and body will show up. It's very difficult to sort of do these classes with just one topic in mind. However, the reason we pick up one topic as per request or because it's something that the energy called out for was that, to give you, you will get like, I love these right body for you classes because there's no way to handle just one thing. You'll have to handle everything because that's the way the body is. Like you can't handle just one aspect of what the body is showing up without touching on so many other aspects, right? And like I said before, that because you have a body, it's an experiential entity. It experiences everything. It feels everything, senses everything, and it creates. It's here to create the pleasures of being on this planet, right? So that change. And so the thing with water retention is also something like that. Like look at what is asking to be let go of in your life that you're not letting go of. Just start asking with that and see if that changes. And is it really just a change? Because we are changing all the time. So, if your hormones are changing, it could create water retention. If you changed your diet, it would create water retention. Only because your body's trying to adjust to this new thing. Yeah. And I mean, yeah, if you ask the right questions, you'd know for yourself because it's so different for everybody, right?
So we have some more questions similar.
Sure.
I will just tell the audience there's one on BP and there's one on pigmentation. Like Sangeeta and Isha mentioned, the moment you start asking questions, some awareness will show up. And how about we take that question a little later and hop on to Sanjeev. He's written a note there. Sanjeev, how about you just unmute yourself and ask the question rather than me reading it out?
Thank you very much. I'm so happy you guys are doing a class about body because very little is spoken about bodies. And I can say that I have been brought up in a spiritual family, so to speak. So we had a lot of spiritual gurus coming to our homes doing Bhagavad Gita ka, all this, chanting and explanation. In every sermon, these spiritual gurus used to say, body is Maya. You have to shed the body. The being is superior to the body. Body is limited. The attractions of the body and the earthly pleasures, you have to give it up. And the being is superior. You have to die and you have to get moksha. I grew up with that whole point of view, constantly disconnecting with my body. And also there's this whole social point of view that woman's body is beautiful. You see songs about women's eyes, women's hair, women's breast, everything beautiful. But what song is there about a man's body? No one cares about a man's body. There's no song describing the biceps of a man, shoulder of a man, the V-cut of the chest, nothing. So there is a whole social thing that woman's known for the beauty of her body and a man is to be known only for his brains and only for the success in his life. So when such is a case and I have such a big conditioning, how the hell do I connect with my body? That's my question.
So interestingly, Sanjeev, so cool that you asked this question. I love it because all of us in India at some point have been asked to disconnect from our bodies, right? Through some religious teaching, if not through religious teaching, I was taught to disconnect from my body just for being a girl. Like, don't touch it. Don't touch it in front of anybody else. Don't show this part of you. Don't walk like this. Don't sit like this. Please join your legs. All of that. Everything that, I was directed to do when I was growing up. Because when you're little kids, you're so freaking sexual that you actually make the adults around you very, very uncomfortable, right? So they use all this to control you. And, all of religion is to control you, babe. It's like, let's put the men into one slot, let's put the women into one slot so that they can't, it's separating so that we can't access the other thing. Like, okay, now the woman doesn't need to access her brains and the man doesn't need to access the beauty of his body. But really, I mean, would an infinite being even have a gender to begin with?
No.
Right. And you know what the beauty of these classes are? As we start running the hearings, it's so easy to shed them if you're asking for change, right? It's it's choosing to know what you know, really. It's also choosing to, I know that there are a lot of questions on the chat asking for how do you, get into communion with your body. But that's what this whole class is about. And if Isha and me tell you right now on the call, then you're not going to come to our class. So we are not going to tell you that. But let us tell you this much, that it's possible. It's possible, from Isha's journey, from my journey, we have changed like how through just like these couple of years of access. I've never been more connected in my body. I've never enjoyed it as much as I do now. And it keeps changing every day, right? What do you have to say, Isha?
That was beautiful. Yeah, we're all infinite beings. And yes, you have a man's body in this lifetime, but how many lifetimes have you been a woman?
Yeah.
So yes, we have access to being a woman or being a man, but we also have access to all the energies of the other gender. But just because we don't have that gender body in this lifetime doesn't mean we don't have access to all of those energies. And a body truly is not a tool for separation. It's been used as a tool for separation in this reality. And we've been conditioned to separate from one another based on our genders, caste, religion, cultures, of course, but like gender and body has a huge role to play with like in separation, especially with religion, with spirituality. And like Sangeeta said, it's all about control. But what if instead of fighting the lies that you are so aware of, what if you could embrace the lightness of you, of being all of you, where you don't have to cut off any aspect of you?
So amazing.
Right, wrong, good and bad, pod and pock, online shots, boys and beyonds. What if you could use your body, which is of man? So, okay, so another thing is, guess who chose this body?
I did.
Yeah. And if we've chosen our bodies, we must have known something, right? So what if it's time to embrace our knowing rather than fighting all the lies that we're so aware of? What if it's time to look at the lightness of what our body is here to contribute to us rather than fighting the lies that we are so aware of, that everyone is so busy perpetrating?
And can I add something?
Sorry.
Yeah, please go ahead.
I was so busy fighting the lies, like how dare they tell me wrong things about my body, lies about my body. But that question really changed the energy that, hey, instead of fighting the people who are perpetrating lies about the body, what if I could embrace my knowing about my body? That's changed the energy. Thank you for that.
Yes. And can I add something else, Sanjeev? I don't know if this will open up a space for you and for everybody in this thing. We all look at our body as if it's something that we need to take care of. But actually, it has this intelligence system running it. And it has a consciousness of its own. Now, how many of you wake up in the morning and say, hey, lungs, breathe, I'm awake? Or kidneys run because, now I'm awake. Or stomach, come on, digest, I've eaten a meal. How many of you have to give instruction to your bodies? None. It just functions. And guess what? Its entire endeavor is towards well-being. It wants to be well. It wants to be healthy. It desires to work at its optimum. It is only our point of views that stop it. And a great example of that is when you cut your finger, if you don't put anything on it, within a couple of hours, it will stop and heal itself because its natural ability is to heal. So everywhere you've decided that you can't change anything in your body and that it will never heal and that it will never change, can we please destroy and uncreate all that?
Yes.
right and wrong, good and bad, what and pop, all nine shots, boys and yarns. So now that you have this intelligent, you made this intelligent choice to have this extremely conscious and intelligent entity that is your best friend, that you live in, that has all the capacities that the earth has, because it's made up of exactly the same component
And
as
the
the
universe.
earth and the universe. Now, if you stop the fight, like Isha said, if you stop the fight, and you start using this intelligent being to your advantage as an ally, who's to say that there is anything that you cannot achieve?
And here's an interesting point of view of mine, just my interesting point of view. Your body is such a powerhouse of consciousness. Like Sangeeta said, it's the same energy as the earth. And it's like the earth, the universe, and your body, like it's so potently powerful, like infinite gifting and receiving. There is no limitation. And there is no stop to what you can gift and what you can receive. Those are just points of views.
Yeah, awesome, Isha. Isha, how about and this is just a question I'm throwing at you. How about we leave them on this call with a tool of connecting to their body? What about we just take them to that space that maybe I'm not saying that we are superior to you guys or that we know more or whatever, but for the purpose of this class and everything that Isha and me have done to work on just having that little bit of communion with our body and having more ease. But if we could,
and we know we have.
Yo, totally, I'm totally. And like, what if we would just what would you be willing to sort of draw that energy from us and have it for you today on this call? And what if, sometimes what happens is I get this question a lot in so many classes. I don't know how to connect with my body. Every time I ask to connect to my body, I don't. But your body knows how to connect with you. So today, just let down your barriers, drop it. And instead of you trying to connect to your body, can you ask your body to connect to you? Yeah, much easier, right? And now if this is that long lost friend who you haven't said hi to in a really, really long time, whose eyes you haven't looked into in a really, really long time, who you haven't said a hello without an agenda in a really, really long time, if you today just dropped your barriers and said, hey, hi. And we can have any conversation we like with our body. I'll only leave you with this piece before I hand it over to Isha. Whether you listen to what you say or you don't, your body is listening all the time. So please choose your conversations with a little more consciousness and awareness. What are you asking of your body that it's already giving you that you are making it wrong for? But it's only giving you what you're asking for. So everything that is, can we please destroy and create it all? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pop, all nine shots, boys.
That was so beautiful.
Over to you, my gorgeous babe.
Wow, thank you. That was beautiful. Yeah.
One more question. Can I ask a follow-up question? So,
I guess you can.
Now that you have unmuted yourself,
I
why
know
not?
we have no control over you.
question is, so when the body is talking to us, through body's language, right? It's not English. It's sensation. It can be heaviness, lightness, thirst, intensity, and all that. Now, is there a dictionary to like unlock, to like know what means what?
You want to answer that,
Understand the language of the
Isha?
body. How do you know what the body is saying? Does it come with a dictionary? Does it come with a user's manual or something like guide on that? How to understand the language of the body?
Yeah, sir, you ain't getting any logic here, buddy.
I can actually add something to that. I want to know, Sanjeev, how many times have you tripped and not fallen? Like you've managed to hold yourself and not fallen and gotten hurt. How many times have you just averted a mishap because you became present, because you got a jolt or you were like, oh shit, I would have fallen, but I didn't?
Yeah.
Has it happened to you? Has it happened to anyone on this call? that is your body communicating with you.
Yes.
Okay, so it's got a language of its own, and that dictionary is unique to you, babe. Okay, and as you allow it to communicate to you on a daily basis, you'll figure it out. It's so different for everybody, right? Like how many? Sorry, Isha. Go ahead. I was just going to ask how many of you have been in a situation where you knew you needed to get out of that. Like it could have been the best party ever, but you knew you needed to leave, and the minute you left, something happened there, and you were so glad that you weren't there when that happened, right? It's your body is communicating with you all the time. You've got a unique relationship with your body, and it's got a unique language that only the two of you understand, really. Right? It's about building that. And these Right Body For You classes is getting you to just build that. We cannot teach you the language, which is going to give you a little bit of, hey, just a little bit of telling you that you already know, or giving you a little more information that you've been doing this for a really long time. Right? And then you take that on, and it's going to be different each time. Right? I hope that kind of gave you a little bit of
Thank
way
you.
to start at least. Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Isha,
Yeah.
hi.
Hi.
Okay, so why do we step out of our body? And is there a way we can 100% stay inside our body rather than all the time gathering molecules and...
Okay, first thing I'd like to say is you don't want to stay in your body, you want to be with your body.
Yeah.
You're always with your body, you're not in your body. And even how many of you have done the being expand exercise when you expand your being? So when your being expanded so much.
Close tha.
That
So lovely. So
I know, right? Just when you were about to say something so crucial.
So when your being expands so much, how can you be inside your body? You're always with your body. Your being is so expansive. It's infinite. It's not limited by the edges of your body. That is the first thing that it freed me to know that I don't have to be confined. Your being is so expansive. It's infinite. It doesn't stay confined to the edges of your body. What you can do is you can create with your body. And about checking out from your body, a lot of times what happens is when we decide that a moment is too intense, we'd rather check out than be present with what is going on. So every moment and that first moment when you decided that a particular situation or a particular person was too intense or too abusive to handle, that you'd rather check out than be present with your body and receive its brilliance. Can you just try and uncreate that?
Yes.
Right, wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, online shots, boys and beyonds. And a lot of times also what happens is your being is very present with a lot of different energies. So it's like when someone requires you, you're just like, hey body, could you be here? Can I just go be with that person and come back? Because they're calling me, So that's not wrong. That's a capacity your being has. But what we have to get is that you don't have to check out of your body to do that. You can be present with your body in the moment and be everywhere else as well.
Exactly, so beautifully put, right? Because the infinite being is like that expansive, that it can stay with its body and also go and do whatever else it has to do. That's so brilliant. Yeah.
Thank you, Isha. Isha, one more thing.
Yeah.
If you get angry, then again, do you check out of your body?
Can you say that again, please?
If you get angry, do you check out of your body?
Here's my question. What I'd ask is that your anger, or are you aware of someone else's anger? And have you decided that anger is way too intense to deal with, so you'd rather check out and be present with it? And ask a question. Who does it belong to?
Cool. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for the brilliant questions. Who was that? Zeal, right? That was amazing. The questions were amazing. Thank you, Zeal.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Isha. Thank you, Channa. I think we had an amazing conversation here. And just for the audience, this amazing class happens to be day after tomorrow. I have sent out the link on the chat, and you're more than welcome to reach out to me anytime to know more about the class. And of course, with Sangeeta and Isha too. I will quickly call out my number 9971990838, and we look forward to seeing you in the class. And once it's not just in face to face, it's also online. So any city, any part of the world you are in, you are okay to join from anywhere. So thank you, Isha. Thank you, Sangeeta. It was awesome.
Thank you,
And lots of
Sunita, for
thank yous
moderating
from the
this.
audience.
Thank you, Sunita, for moderating
Thank you,
this.
Sunita.
And thank you, Isha. I'm so excited to co-facilitate.
Thank you, Sari. I'm so
This
excited.
is the first time that Isha and me are co-facilitating a Right Body for You class. And for all of you who don't know, we two are the only Right Body for You facilitators in India.
Yes.
Relate to that.
Yes.
And we're waiting for more of you to join us and be facilitators and facilitate bodies into consciousness so that you
Truly.
can co-create with your body. And this is just a small invitation from all of us for you to join us and begin on that journey.
And also, I want to just add one last thing before leaving. You all have an awareness with your body that is different. You all have your own awarenesses. You all have your own capacities that are different. What awarenesses we have with our bodies is going to be so different to what you have with yours. So please follow your knowing. Please follow the information that your body gives to you.
Yeah.
And just be with your body. Your body is a gift. It's not a curse.
Right.
It can be the biggest gift if you're willing to receive it.
Absolutely. And all of you have very, very, very gorgeous bodies. And there's someone who's asking if there's a manual. There is totally a manual. You, as always, all access classes follow the energy. So you will have ample stuff to write down in that manual as well. Okay? You create your own manual because this is about your body. How does it get any better than that? And what else is truly possible? So yeah, lots of love to you guys. And we really look forward to seeing some of you, most of you, all of you in our class.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Isha.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
so much.
I love you all. Thank you, Sunita. Thank you, Sangi.
Thank you, Ishu. Bye, Sunita. Thank you. And thank you, all of you. Bye-bye.